needs another skateboarding slash a podcast, 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 a podcast,
Okay. All right, we're in.
We're in, baby. Nice.
All right. Should I do a little intro? It's funny
Ouch.
because, we've never talked in normal terms either. But
Just through these little rectangles.
I know. It doesn't really count. But that's
I
kind
know.
of that's why I've wanted to make a show like this, because I feel like I have so many people who are like internet friends or acquaintances or people who have just followed their work for a long time and just want a chance to say what's up to.
Yeah, it's a cool opportunity. And it's like a little gateway to, hey, do you want to talk? And you have a reason to
Right.
hit them up.
Not that I feel like we really need a reason or like, need this like tangible thing to come of it. But for some people you do, or it's just like a little bit more of a motivation.
True. For sure.
So without further ado, welcome to the very second episode of Orange Man's Zest Friends. Joining me today is none other than Ryan Reyes. Am I saying that right? Or is it Reyes?
However you want. My grandpa says Ray, yes. But like the Hispanic pronunciation, you roll the R, Reyes. But
yeah.
Ray,
Okay.
yes, works.
That's okay, Reyes. No relation to Jamie Reyes.
Who knows? Maybe down the line.
Yeah.
Big fan though.
Yeah, I know, and she's kind of made a comeback recently.
Oh, really? I'm not familiar. I used to have her Gala's ad on my wall. Just because it's the last name.
I don't even. That's funny. I don't even know that company. What was that?
I think it was a girl shoe brand.
Oh, I think it's tough because you got to remember everyone's Instagram name and.
I know.
Name.
I lose people. I'll either follow them and then I'll just never find them again.
Or only know them as the Instagram name, which is just kind of goofy.
True.
Yeah. And then some people, like you see people's pro model board with like their handle on it.
Yeah.
I've seen it a few times now, like a roller surfer pro model where it's it's like roller surfer is on the pro model, but then it's like his real name as well.
Okay. That's sick. Well, I guess a lot of people know him just as roller surfer.
I know. Well, it's like to me it's a little more interesting having like persona skaters. Like it reminds me of some of my favorites like Ragdoll, Lizard King, Trainwreck.
Oh yes.
And then yeah, there's so many others, but Job.
And then Orange Man is on there.
Well, I mean it's designed as such.
Cool.
No coincidences here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it.
But I think pretty much all skaters have a persona, whether it has a name or not.
For sure. It is definitely something that made me more comfortable with like having a camera in my face. It's kind of like turn on some sort of character.
Well, I feel like your character has evolved over the time that I've been a fan of your work.
Well, I appreciate you being there through the evolution.
Well, for sure. Well, I mean, your last part, I think it's your most recent part, the like ditch dimension part.
Oh yeah, okay.
Right.
I made one. I did a VX part after that, but it was just like a local video around here. I'm
gonna have to see it.
It's called Cruel Kindness. It was like a barracks part.
Oh no, I saw that too. I think.
Yeah, it's where I'm playing my harmonium, my hand pump organ.
I think that's the part that I'm thinking of. Yeah. And is it has like, well, maybe they're kind of similar because you're on this like Timothy Leary
Yes.
inspired.
Okay. Yeah.
Am I right?
That's the ditch dimension. The ditch
Okay,
dimension
that's the
is like
dish.
from. I filmed that during my while I was living in my tiny house full time. I call it my
Mhm.
psychedelic pilgrimage.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I love that. I was like, I feel like this is a skate persona that has not been explored before. That's always exciting.
I, I'm happy to
But
Trojan
I,
horse some of that stuff into skateboarding. You know.
well, I think you live it. So it's not like a persona all the way.
Yeah. No. Not anymore. Like well, before like my persona was just like whenever the camera was around, I would just be really drunk,
Mm,
and that
yeah.
kind of was like a coping mechanism to like deal with like the attention,
Mm,
and then it made everyone like me that I was like wacky and crazy. So,
yeah.
but as I've like become more I'm more at peace now and I don't drink and I'm a
Mm.
lot happier, so it's easier to just kind of like do what I love and like put that into it rather than like have this thing that I turn on.
Well, so I remember you have like three distinct phases that I've noticed where it's like you got like pizza pajamas mode,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
it's a
and
good
like
time.
so you got that, and that sort of like seems like kind of like Candy Kid raver inspired. But then
Oh yeah,
there was where you're wearing just this one blue like denim button down shirt and black pants for every
good.
clip,
I'm
and
glad you
maybe a
noticed.
beanie.
You know, I'm pretty sure like that subconsciously happened from having to wear that uniform at school in elementary school, and I always really liked having this uniform. But then I, after a couple of years of where I was like, wait, I think I'm wearing my school uniform, and that's why I feel so comfortable because like
Hmm.
it like felt at home. But yeah,
Yeah.
good eye, good eye.
That's like some of the earliest stuff I remember. But then when you had this sort of like transformation into like, yeah, the Timothy Leary, or there's a couple other guys who remind me of, like the deep thinking mushroom pioneers. I was like,
For
this
sure.
doesn't seem like a persona. This seems like you just being who you are now. Especially because I don't think like it's definitely not super marketable, although you have like the pennies out there who it's mushroom everything. But
Yeah, yeah.
but I think like psychedelic deep thought is kind of always kind of put into, and don't take this the wrong way, but it's kind of put into a kook category.
Oh, for sure.
And so I'm like, I think you're just being totally earnest and this is just what you're about now. And I don't even see it as like drug induced um whatever it is state of mind. Like I feel like maybe that maybe that helps with
Yeah,
whatever kind of awakening is going on, but it just seems like you're on like a different plane philosophically and lifestyle wise.
for sure. I am just, you know, I've kind of, it all started just through trying to treat my anxiety and depression and then learning where that came from, where my trauma was, and then healing the trauma, and then feeling how awesome it is to feel better when you like are honest with yourself about it, and then you put the work in to feel better. So I've
Mm.
kind of like, I just have really gotten over showing people that I'm good at skateboarding, and I just kind of want to use it as a way to like maybe help people in some way, you know,
Mm.
it just
Yeah.
feels better.
Yeah. Well, I saw you know, you had this Jenkum video where you're basically giving an instructional guide for how to spot psilocybin mushrooms and use them responsibly. And I was like, this is probably something that people need to hear. And it's so not like it's not like drug-y. It's not like cool. It's kind of like this is how you can find something that may or may not work. Um,
Yeah,
you know? And I
yeah,
feel like
I
there's
like
very
felt
little of that in skating. How to help yourself.
exactly. Yeah, I felt like there's a lot of people. There's like we're in the middle of a psychedelic renaissance.
Mm,
Um, there's a lot of people talking about it like in pop culture and like podcasts and stuff. But I feel like there wasn't like a. I was feeling the healing power of using psychedelic psychotherapy and like learning about it as much as I could, and I just felt like there wasn't a voice about like intentional like thoughtful use about healing yourself with the medicine, or I like to call them tools rather than medicine, because medicine, you like take a pill and it makes you better, but a tool you can
Right.
use wrong and it can hurt you.
Mm.
Uh,
Mm.
but I felt a responsibility to be educated and just kind of not just be like, take mushrooms, they help me, you
Yeah.
know.
I didn't take that as that at all. And now I gotta come clean with you. I have never taken them or
That's
any
okay.
or any other real psychedelic drugs. They consider marijuana a psychotropic,
They
but
do.
and I've definitely had some experience where I'm like, I think I'm actually tripping right now. But yeah, so I haven't really dabbled in, partly because I feel like, I'm a little afraid. Not gonna lie.
Well, that's like that's your innate wisdom, having respect for the power. I feel that's what I
Mm,
would say.
yeah. Well, I mean, I got a lot of respect for the depth of my mind, anyone's mind, and it could be a
Hmm.
scary place.
For sure, yeah. That's like that's what I'm after. I want to get in
Yeah.
there, see the shadows, find the demons, and ask them what's up.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. Probably a lot of people are at, where, acknowledging that stuff is the only way to get
For
past,
sure.
you know.
Yeah, the only way out is through.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially now, it's like, I don't know, no matter what your lifestyle is during the pandemic and lockdowns and quarantine, we're all kind of on this inner journey, you know.
Yeah, it's been kind of, it's cool to watch everyone, like, I mean, I feel bad for people that are struggling with like kind of stir crazy. It's kind of bringing up a
Mm.
lot of anxiety and depression.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's kind of like a boot camp. A lot of people have just been so comfortable and with this just overstimulation and like not addressing anything. And I think this has been it's been a scary time for a lot of people, but it's been an eye-opening experience for, I feel like, a lot of people too, which is a cool thing to shine a light on. It's not all terrible.
Mm. No, there's definitely been some growth, I feel like, or at least just a lot of gratitude for what is going well.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
but it's tough. I mean, you take like, yeah, you got to take stock of like, what do you have that's still working,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
realize what is tough to live without and why. And it's a tough time for people who can't be alone.
Yeah.
Uh,
I yeah, I feel like I've like geared up for this. I like have been, meditating a lot for the last couple of years, and like in my tiny house just in the forest for weeks. And I felt equipped to be alone, and it has worked out nicely for me because I feel like yeah, I kind of like prepared for it on accident.
mm, I was kind of feeling similarly, like I'd moved away from my home base, um,
Okay.
and had been out with my wife in Maryland, and then the pandemic hit. We've been out there for like 2 years, away from like family, friends. And so I was already in this lifestyle of like mostly skating alone, mostly doing my thing alone.
Mhm.
And it's like, it's so freeing to be your own best friend
For
and
sure. It's a
move about
superpower.
yeah, exactly, move about the
Yeah.
world at your own, exactly your own pace and for yourself. And it's awesome to like run into new people and meet new people, and
Yeah,
unadulterated by whoever you're already with.
for sure. Like last year I try to do, well, I did a week of complete silence where I didn't talk and like, but went about all my things. And it
Mm,
kind of like showed me how much the external environment was like causing anxieties, and like how I interacted with things, what it made me like really know, like find a peaceful place in my mind. And then I started doing like an intermittent silence, like where I wouldn't talk till noon a lot of the times. And
that's
it's
what I
all,
like to do if I can.
it's
Yeah,
nice, right?
it's so nice. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that's that's why I love, and I haven't been doing it as much because of the pandemic, but that's why I always like to go out for coffee. I want my
Oh yeah,
first
nice.
interaction to be a little conversation with a stranger.
For sure. Yeah. That's nice. That's nice. I like that. That's really awesome.
And it's like you could make coffee at home for sure, but I don't know. You probably don't even drink coffee, do you?
I don't drink caffeine, no.
Yeah, I had a feeling. That's why I went to go get my drinks, got seltzer and mini
Ooh,
Coca-Cola.
party
Um,
time.
yeah, but the caffeine is still like important to me, or so I think.
Yeah. I like growing up, my mom would just give me like soda to like kind of shut me up when I was little, and I like just always drank a lot of caffeine until
Mm.
until like maybe 5 years ago. I like started noticing that like almost instantly after I would drink a caffeinated beverage, I would like be just on edge, and I would pretty much have an anxiety attack like right away. And
Mm.
like I started connecting it, and then when I got rid of that, I noticed a lot of it melt away, a lot of
Mm.
like racing thoughts and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I've been noticing that in myself lately, but um, it's like habitual.
Yeah, for sure.
And my
Yeah.
body like craves it. So my body craves it, and then like even the anxiety is like habitual.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
like,
It's a little tornado.
I don't know. I wanted to touch on your you're not drinking. I'm a non-drinker as well for many
Yeah,
years, and it's like I kind of compare so many things to that habit, you know,
yeah,
or that kind of that life that you live if you're like an everyday drinker.
yeah. I always when I like stopped drinking, I started describing it as like it's like living in a town where none of the streets connect, but you wake up on a different street every day.
Mm,
When you drink every day, you just kind of like it's just you can't really have there's no continuity to your life. You're just kind of like rolling with whatever happened that day and like making it through it, and then you just wake up like butterfly effect style, like and you like fucking go and you go through the next day.
wow.
And yeah, that was so nice to stop that, but it was really hard. It was habitual for sure. I like started to just realize like every time I would drink, I would like I don't really like how this feels, but I like I'm just doing it every night, and it was really kind of hard to quit. And which led to me while I have healed all like through mushrooms and meditation, as I've realized that I was just using it as an escape, and I've I feel like I've healed a lot of that, at least my attachment to drinking, and
Mm,
I have drank like I was clean I didn't drink for like 4 years, and I drank a couple of times last year with my wife, and it just you can really like now that I just don't have any attachment to it. I just like it feels awful. Like it doesn't feel
mm,
good at all. And it like really makes my body feel awful. And I just like it just made me even more like less inclined to want to drink. But it's cool to like, like be confident and really be like, yeah, this sucks a lot. Like I can't
yeah.
like it can't even skate. Your body is so sore for day. I like if I have a couple of alcoholic beverages, like just a couple glasses of wine, I'll like feel like I can't even skate right for like 3 days.
Hmm. Wow. It's been it's been literally years and years for me. But I don't know. I just felt like and a lot of people out there and young skaters, they know that it goes hand in hand. Like
For
at a
sure. Yeah.
certain
Yeah.
age, it goes hand in hand where it's like it's almost an extension of skating. We were like, who gets
Really. Yeah.
the earliest?
It's
Or
expected. Yeah, it's so sick. He did that trick, fucking so fucked up, man.
not even with skating, not even involved at all. It's just skaters hanging out. They're like, he drank the most, or etc.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
That's a thing for sure. Yeah,
it becomes like another pissing contest or like stair counting. You know.
yeah. That's there's so many of those in skateboarding, and they're so like normalized. It's hard to catch.
Hmm.
I'm happy to have popped that bubble in my life and to like be happy and not have that to rely on. And yeah, I'm not like I don't push complete abstinence as the end point of healing. I feel even more healed now that I like communed with a substance again, and I know that it doesn't resonate with me and it doesn't make me feel good. And I had like because I had the power to just not say I just don't like it and I don't want to do it.
Mm.
I'm really not into the whole once an addict always an addict thing. It's
Yeah.
just not true from a neuroscience perspective. You can change your neural pathways,
Mm.
and I
Yeah.
think that phrase just validates relapse in the long term.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I think about how does like the addict mindset relate to skating, not just culturally, but kind of as an activity.
Dude, I've been thinking about that a lot too. It's like I feel like skateboarding attracts like super people that are using addiction and codependency as coping mechanisms.
Mm,
Because you have to be kind of addicted to skateboarding to like you have to be to like push yourself through all the pain and get good at it. And then also there's the codependent side of like wanting to be good for approval or doing the right tricks or dressing the right way for approval. And I feel
mhm.
like there's this like skateboarding is kind of like a tornado of those two things being really normalized.
Yeah. Yeah. Or not even the, definitely like, yeah, pushing through the pain and whatnot, but even like trying over and over where
Yeah.
there's not even pain, it's just annoying. But you're like, but the next one, like, how do
Yeah.
you, it's almost like more like gambling addiction. Not that I really know much about
Yeah.
that, but I feel like a lot of skating is gambling addiction where it's like, what makes you so convinced that like it's going to be the next one when it's already been 100? But then you do get it, so you get validated in that like catching lightning in a
For
bottle.
sure. I love that. That's so good. Yeah, it's a very good analogy.
Maybe it's just me and my friends who take a million tries, but you know, you're convinced that A, it's worthwhile at all, and that you will eventually get it, and it's just gonna be like,
Dude.
you know, crank after crank
Yeah.
on the slot machine.
Yeah, it's that's seriously so good. Yeah, no, that's how my brain, that's exactly how it works in my head. I'm like, I've got it this try, but like 3 hours later, you're
Yes.
still going.
But I feel like I pick my battles more these days because I'm
Oh,
like,
for sure.
a lot of the time something that takes forever does not look as cool as it was worth effort wise. It depends. Usually the best tricks are easier.
It's
Faith
true, for
is
sure.
an avenue you haven't explored before or haven't seen anyone else explore before. And the tricks
Yeah,
that take
yeah.
forever are you kind of emulating the like people who you've always looked up to and you're like, I want to be like them. And therefore it's hard because you're trying to be
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
else.
I definitely can like remember my younger brain be like trying like a really hard trick that maybe I haven't seen or something, and be like just thinking about the approval, be like, oh, everyone's gonna think this is sick. I gotta land this because everyone's gonna like this.
Yeah.
Uh, Seductive.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. There's something about it where well, the word I use most is obsession. And I
Mm.
think obsession and addiction are like kind of intertwined where you're like you're just so convinced that it will happen, that it's worthwhile, and that you like need it.
Yeah, yeah. It like it's a it's a valuable lesson, but it's also a dangerous one at times.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to use it. You got to learn how to use that power.
Right. And that's why I kind of try to like cut myself off where I'm like, could I maybe spend this time, I don't know, eating a good meal?
Yeah, yeah.
Or like resting even?
For sure.
Or
Yeah.
just simply like staring at the sky and enjoying existence. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, I've done like made myself do that more so I'll be like, this trick isn't fun anymore. I want to land it, but I think I'll be happier if I stop, and like kind of making myself like say no to that part of my brain it's been empowering for sure.
it's hard to say no. You feel like you're letting yourself down.
Yeah, you really do. Especially like I've I remember like thinking like the Mike V demo is like so sick. He won't stop until he lands the trick. Like
Yeah.
he pushes through everything.
Hmm. I definitely found that really inspiring. Because then
Hmm.
with the power of editing, it's like he's a hero. He's an
Yeah, yeah.
absolute hero, living God, you know?
Yeah, I got that vibe for sure.
But yeah, and he kind of looks like, you know, a Greek god or something.
He's got the vibe of the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
He's less rocking the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, he's mellowed out on the
He's more
Thunderbolts.
into the well, he was into the
Elephants.
elephant. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
funny
yeah.
how a lot of these pros they have like their iconography. like that.
I wonder if he likes Ganesh.
I
I wonder if it's
doubt
any
it.
inspo.
I kind of doubt it, but maybe.
I doubt it too, but maybe, who knows?
He seems like he's probably pretty Christian. I just got that vibe with the super flowing blonde hair, and I got a Christian-y vibe. I think a lot of
Super
skaters too,
flowing.
like a lot of skaters of that generation, they're kind of like reformed, and they're like, now I'm into God.
Yeah, you know, when you
Nothing
just
wrong
get,
with that.
dude, yeah, nothing wrong with that. There's some, it's like, it does validate some toxicity, like egotistical, like elite thinking. I feel like Christianity is kind of seductive in that way, where you're like, uh, I'm a follower of Christ and I'm doing it the right way. Kind of mentality can get toxic, but I totally respect everyone trying to better themselves for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I just I would like to see more, or other religions gain popularity in skateboarding.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
cool, right? We gotta diversify. I'm trying to
Well,
like inject a little bit of Hinduism.
yeah. Have you been practicing that lately? I'm gonna crack this.
Yes, it's been something that's like helped me. I've been kind of a, growing up I was kind of an angry atheist kind of guy, and something about like humbling myself, not that like I believe that the stories are true, but like just humbling myself and getting lessons from them and not just dismissing the things have been giving me a lot of value. And Hindu religion has been something that has resonated with me. I really like unconditional love, devotional love, and bhakti yoga is like something that I really resonate with.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like, I don't know, I guess I don't think much about Hinduism. No offense to anyone.
Yeah,
But yeah, but I think about yoga, and I think about how it's so tied to that. It's like it's a spiritual, physical practice.
for
And then
sure.
it gets me back to skating, where I'm like,
Yeah, for sure.
what is a spiritual way to skate? Is something that I'm
Well, it's
always
a
thinking.
mind body meditation. Yoga is a mind body meditation. Tai Chi is by a mind body meditation, and I feel like skateboarding is fully a mind body meditation. It's something that we just lose ourselves in and focus on one thing, because meditation is just like giving your mind a break and thinking about one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, skateboarding is magical in that way, and it's cool how it's like wasn't invented by anyone and just kind of emerged from like broken toys in the 60s.
Well, that's something I wanted to talk with you too, because I've been thinking about, even pre the roller skate, where it's like just surfing,
Yeah,
and I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking like, where did even that come from? Like, who was the first person to be like, I want to ride on water?
yeah, that's amazing. I feel like I haven't ever gone into that history. I feel like maybe it's from Hawaii,
That's what
but
I
I'm not
heard.
sure.
Yeah, I heard that it's like like an indigenous
Mm-hmm.
practice.
Which is so cool.
Yeah.
I gotta learn about that now. Now I'm gonna go in a black hole of that tonight.
Well, you just think of the like white blonde surfer kids, but it's really like, it's appropriated from this totally different culture, not super far
sure.
away, but yeah. And I think about it too, like, the best skaters usually they're like Bruce Lee. They are like water.
Yeah.
And then it's
Wes
like,
Kramer.
yeah, well, yeah, that's an interesting one to come to mind. He's a good one. There's so many.
I feel like when I watch him in person, I guess it's kind of he just like out of nowhere will just do a crazy trick, but it will flow right into this other crazy trick, and it's like it's cool to watch him skate in person for sure.
Must be a treat. Well, he's like,
oh yeah,
he's a Wally and wall ride master, and so it's like, especially people like that who stay on their board the entire time and like just ride different surfaces, and it really is like taming a wave, or like being at the mercy of a wave, and just like, I don't know. And I've never really surfed. I've taken a lesson like in Rhode Island where the waves were literally like a foot tall, but I think about surfing a lot.
I grew up in like the beach is like 10 minutes from me, but I have surfed a couple times. But in my growing up the jocks were surfers and they were just dicks. So I
Mm.
never went to the beach because it was always like the dudes that I didn't want to hang out with. So I hung out with the skateboarders, and it's also more expensive.
You know, the skateboarders have become the jocks.
I know.
Depends who it is, but
I know. They found their way to us, but
well, wherever there's wherever there's anything, there's going to be jocks.
wherever there's glory,
Yeah.
the jocks will come.
Well, I like what you said like earlier in the conversation about like not needing to prove that you're good. And I don't even know what that part was about. Maybe just
I
about
don't
the
remember.
mushroom stuff, but I just feel like
Oh yeah.
there's a bit more of that in skating these days where it's like skating that isn't just about being good. And I try to wrap my head around the success of Frog skateboards.
Yeah.
And they're a company that obviously their riders are sick, but part of it seems like part of their whole shtick is not being that good, at least at graphic design. But also the skating is pretty
they really
approachable.
Yeah, I mean, I know Mango so well.
Oh really? Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, he like kind of came up with Frog in my living room, like, but that's always been his like aesthetic. He's always just been just like I don't know. It's hard to say like bad graphic design, but it's like
no, I enjoy it.
He's so good at it, you know. It's like this like specific art that I can't do, but he's like got this weird eye that people like really like. So it's cool to watch that blossom.
Yeah, well, it's like it kind of reminds everyone of their own doodles, I think, or like of a time when they did doodle at all. You know, like it's captured like the innocence of skating or creativity.
That's a good way to put it.
It's like a childlike thing that most people like grow out of. You know, it doesn't have to be only when you're a child. So I tell people like you can skate. They're like, oh, I'm too old to learn. And I'm like, well, you're not gonna be Tony Hawk, but it's okay.
But that's the cool thing about skating is like any other like sport. I'm using the term loosely, but like if you suck at football, no one wants to play football with you. If you suck at basketball, no one wants to play basketball with you. But if you're not good at skating, everyone's hyped. Like you can all vibe and like it's just all about your individual experience. And like you going down that ramp is just as fun to watch as like someone's like that's good kickflipping down it or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, it's a party for everyone.
It's true. Well, it's also like it's so personal because like someone doing their first drop in and you know it's their first drop in, it's going to get you more excited than someone doing a big trick down a big stair. So it's kind of like you kind of have to know where people are and being able to know where they are and meet them where they are is the exciting part.
For sure. I love going into like YouTube black holes of like first time landing tricks. It's like really fun to just watch people be really happy and it's really sick.
Yeah. And that was something that was so looked down upon, like self-cheering. But like, why wouldn't you want to cheer if you're excited and proud of something, proud of a new experience you've never had in your life?
Yeah, I've noticed that that's not okay in skateboarding, and I started like forcing myself to like praise myself. Like I invented Rayleigh. You know the Rayleigh, the rail wally?
You know who? You know, it's hard to remember that you invented it. Because a lot of people...
I never I have forced myself to start talking about that I invented it.
I'm glad you mentioned it because well, no, it's good. It's good. I forgot, honestly. I think of you as more of a skater than just that. But yeah, yours is definitely the first one I've seen. That was
I did it. There was like California skate parks makes all these dumb ledges that like tee out and you can't wally them. So I kind of like out of like spite, I was like, I'm gonna wally up there, and then I like worked on rails, and then I did it in front of Guy Mariano, and Guy Mariano saw me do it, and he was like, "It's called a Rayleigh," and I was like, "I'm gonna call it that just so I could say Guy Mariano named it, named my trick."
Damn,
and that's how I got the name.
Wow.
Yeah.
I still don't really get it. I guess you ollie and then your back truck just bashes it.
It's like you kind of like are light in the back foot, and so like it bops your board up to your foot. So you like aim your front foot at the rail and then pull your back foot up and it pops it back up to it.
Oh, okay. Wow. I guess I never
It's
really
fun.
tried it. It looked out of my pay grade.
Yeah. It's a good time. It's a good time. People are getting so good at it. There's crazy variations. It's
I
sick.
think of Dan Currigan as the guy who is like big into it these days.
Yeah, we talk on Instagram. He always gives me credit. Oh, he's nice.
Nice. Yeah. No, he seems like he cites his sources.
Yeah, he's that kind of guy for sure.
All right. Well, I got to tell you, we are running out of time because I have this basic ass account on here that's free that you can go for 40 minutes.
Oh,
so
no worries.
Well, what we can do is I could send you another invitation, or we could call it, whatever you want to do. I know you got a life. Okay. Yeah.
I'm relaxing. I'm chilling. It's up to you. I'm gonna give you the option.
I'm down. I just got to. Well, maybe it won't kick us off, but if it does, I'm gonna just send you a new one.
Let's experiment.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Because we're just starting to like scratch the surface of talking about tricks.
I know we're getting in there now.
Yeah, and I wanted to. It's gonna cut me off. I know, right when we're about to get into it, but I wanted to talk to you a bit about your trick language, because I feel like to the Rayleigh thing, I don't even think about when I think of you, but I think you have like a few signature moves that I like to see them come back. It's like The Simpsons. Even though the new episodes suck, you want to see all the friendly characters reemerge.
Yeah.
And then you've done a good job at kind of adding to the story, where you're like, here's this variation on this trick that I always do. For instance, early grab kind of wall bash down the stairs.
Yes.
Like that's a good one. Yeah, but you add little variations to it.
That one's really fun. Do you know Nolan Johnson? He runs,
big fan.
He showed me that trick when we were little kids. Because he used to live in Southern California for a little bit, and we would skate this skate park called Etnies, but he would do it like, he was just really good at backside airs, but like he started doing like airs out of banks and like touching the wall out of like a launch ramp. I was like, oh, that's sick. And he like taught me it. And then that's where that came from. And then I kind of, I don't know, just did it a bunch. It's really fun. And then doing it on rail is really fun.
Oh yeah, I used to do it on the rail. I think the one that most comes to mind for you is your blunt slide pop out, which I feel like is such a staple. But then the power slide to then ollie down the stairs.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that one up. I've been thinking about bringing that one back.
I love that one. It's so funny. I mean, I always try to think of like what else is there, like as far as ways to skate stairs. And so it's like you charge at it, then purposefully lose all your speed, and still make it down there.
Yeah.
You just don't see it coming. It's good. It's a good one.
I gotta do another one.
Twice as fast.
For sure, you do. Sometimes you stick and just fly.
Like, did you do it down like an 8 that was like in this dusty indoor spot? Is that right?
Yeah, it was at Arizona State University, ASU, and there's like an indoor like garagey ground that made it like slippery and impossible.
Oh, okay.
Damn, now I gotta go. I'm gonna go try and film another one for you.
Well, I want to see a backside one.
Ooh, I was thinking maybe kickflip.
Oh, yeah.
I can do those on flat, so maybe.
Or to a rail, to a mini hubba or something.
Ooh, that'd be sick.
Like power slide to then nose slide down it.
Yeah, that could work for sure.
Or like this is a real tailbone one, but you ollie the set to just power slide away. Maybe the landing's downhill.
Just cut it before the power slide's over.
Exactly.
That'll be like that Reynolds clip, the intro clip where he stops, but
exactly. That's a good one. Honestly, that's like one of my favorite tricks of his. Like he has his best tricks like in the intro where he does the tire bounce thing.
Yeah, right. I know,
Like his best
I
tricks are
know.
before the part starts.
Yeah.
Or like getting what he gets drunk with a monkey.
He does. Yes, that was my first video.
Really?
Yeah.
I never really understood that video. But
I just got it because I started skating because of Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Like some kid in my grandparents' apartment neighborhood got Tony Hawk Pro Skater for Christmas on PlayStation, and he wasn't that nice, but we like all wanted to be his friend because he had that game. But
dude.
then like I would watch the videos and I was like, whoa, I didn't know you could do this stuff with a skateboard. And then the only company I knew about, well, I went to Blockbuster Video trying to find skate videos,
Me too.
and then
Did you get Gleaming the Cube?
they had Wheels of Fire, like
Oh,
the
they had an
Santa Cruz
actual
video.
skate video. Wow.
Yeah, it was sick. So that was the first video I ever saw. But then I went to a skate shop and I got the end just because I knew Tony Hawk and Andrew Reynolds just because they're in the game, you know.
Right.
But it was a good choice, I think.
I like the Willie Santos part actually. I like him.
Oh, so good, so good. The board pop outs, I still call those Willie Santos's.
Well, it's like, and he of course did the Willie grind.
Oh
That
yeah,
is him, right? It is
I
named
don't
for
know.
him, right?
I don't know now that I don't know.
I thought it was named for him. Like I can imagine him doing it front side.
I think you're correct, but I don't know.
You think it's him or Wet Willie? There's a lot of
Wet
Willies
Willie.
in that time period.
Wet Willie's a legend, man. I don't know. He's probably got some things under his belt.
Right? Flame Boy's got some fire. He's got some heat.
Oh, he's lit.
I wanted to ask you, so it's not every day that I have a pro skater on Zoom. Sometimes.
I guess I'm not.
Well, I wanted to ask you about first sponsors, prospective sponsors. You coming up with your own board company? Let's just go right there.
I don't know what I'm doing. I kind of just want to just want to do my own thing for a second, but maybe that will turn into that. But I'm kind of like I've just been just skating a lot and like seeing where that's taking me. I don't know. I don't really have an answer with what's going to happen with me in the future. I'd like to ride for a company that is weird and not really big, so I can like buy, like, you know, like work with the company or like just be friends with them. But then that might just end up with me doing my own thing, which has definitely crossed my mind a lot. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of not shutting up any options at the moment. I'm kind of just open to the world right now. It's nice to be free from the old NHS.
Yeah. Well, I honestly never really understood you on Creature. And
Me neither.
The only reason that I ever watched those videos. Seriously.
Thank you. That means a lot.
No, seriously, like, I don't know. No offense to the vertical vampire or whatever, but not really trying to see that. Or
well, I appreciate it. I love it.
I like Milton Martinez. I mean, who doesn't? But I don't even think of him as really like Creature. I think I'm like, isn't he on Anti-Hero?
No, he's on Creature, but he's
I know,
like his
you
own.
know what I mean?
He's his own entity. He's his own entity. Yeah, he's got his own energy and thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not only that, like dipped boards. How do you skate them?
Yeah. Yeah. I ended up on Creature through, like, Sean Hale was on a Vox trip with Darren.
I was trying to remember if you were on Vox.
I wasn't.
Right? No. Okay.
But I wanted to be. I thought they were sick. I was on iPath.
Wow. Must have been later in the iPath.
Yeah, it was like at the very end before they like these dudes bought it who license K-Swiss sandals and then they like just like messed it all up. But it was cool because I got to be on the team with Matt Rod and Fred Gall and Kenny Reed.
Sweet.
And like travel around with them. I went to Thailand with them. That was the first company that ever turned me am.
Wow.
Thanks to Ohio Dave, who was the team manager. He's an awesome man, and he's the first one to give me a chance, which is really cool.
Wow.
But that's around the time, though, right when I got turned am for that company, is that Sean got me on Creature through Darren, but Darren hit me up on Facebook and like set
Mhm.
up a creature trip to like try me out, and then I got on and it was fun. And I was like, I didn't know if I was gonna work because I didn't know if I fit, and I don't know if I ever did fit, but I like became friends with everyone and it was really fun. And
Mhm.
when I got turned pro, I got to like make rainbow graphics and make a weird little corner for myself.
There you go. Yeah.
But yeah,
Huh.
I was a little bit of an alien over
Well,
there.
it's cool. Like, it's cool when companies have like an eclectic team of different styles, but it
Hmm.
seemed like they kind of had this, hesh, for lack of a better word,
Yeah,
thing going. And I don't think you're really that. Like, a lot of your stuff is
I think
gnarly, but it's not like backwards trucker hat and PBR
yeah,
and coping
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
big rail type stuff.
I like listened to a lot of like growing up. I listened to like a lot of like punk and like grindcore, black metal, and like so like when I hung out with them, we all like really I knew all the music they liked, and so like, we really
Mm.
like connected on that level, and that made it make a lot more sense if you could hear our conversations, and like how
Mm.
we hung out. But and I like totally looked up to the Hesh vibe when I was a kid, but
Mm.
that definitely evolved into like whatever silly man I am today, which
Well, like,
which is cool.
who are your favorites growing up
See,
as
I
a
have
punk?
I have this turning point in my life. I I used to skate this Vans Park, and the dude at the front of the Vans Park would always talk about PJ Ladd,
There we
and
go. There we go.
he like because I would skate like stuff that was hard to skate. He's like, you skate stuff that like is purposely hard, and that's like something that PJ Ladd does, and you should get this video. PJ Ladd's Wonderful Horrible Life. So
Nice.
I went to the shop with the money for that video, but then Blackout had just come out, Black Label video,
Yeah, both
and
classics.
there's a point in my life where I was holding both of these VHSs, just like, which way am I gonna go?
Damn.
And I ended up going with Blackout
The
and
cover is
fell in love with
cooler. Let's
Ragdoll.
face it.
It looked cool. I listened to like punk music, and I was like, oh, this is pretty sick. And I fell in love with Ragdoll and Ragdoll. So like Ragdoll's part in that, and then Tony T's part in Bloom are like
Mm.
those are my holy grails of parts when I was younger, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I think you're gonna say Tony. Jeez. Who's the last part in Blackout? Skates to Purple Haze.
Oh, Adam Alfaro, yeah, he is
Adam
a
Alfaro.
favorite too.
What
He's
was
a
I gonna say?
I'm
Tony.
friends with him now, which is cool.
Really? How's he doing?
Yeah,
He's kind of, you never see him anymore, but I was a fan.
yeah, he's awesome. He lives in Whittier. He's doing his thing. He hit
Nice.
me up. He hit me up like last week, and I hadn't
Yeah.
talked to him in a while. But
Oh,
he gave me my number. We might hang out soon.
cool.
I know. I'm excited for
Is
that.
he doing music now?
I'm not sure. I don't really know. If I hang out with him, though, I'll let you know.
Yeah. I mean, like, the last thing I saw of him was kind of like a mini interview where he's making like circuit bending
Yeah, yeah.
toys into instruments.
That was really
Sweet.
cool. I really thought that was awesome.
Me too.
So
It's
weird.
like, this guy's a
So
genius.
cool.
I thought he was just like a stoner kind of like gap pucker.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
style.
Dude,
I always liked the skating.
I remember that airwalk in the bowl is so amazing in that one,
Yeah.
the later Black Label video. He's just always been. He's got such great style, and his trick selection is pretty sick and a little different. Like not, he didn't like play the game as much as everyone else. He like had his own way about things.
He was like a Z boy who could pop his board.
Yeah, and then he was a stunt double in Dogtown and the
And
Z
he was
Boys,
in the
and
Z.
like
Yeah. He had
yeah,
the hair.
and that I feel like that made him even more Z Boy.
Yeah. Well, he was already on that with like the
Yeah,
purple haze part.
perfect casting.
They did a great job. They got the nuge too.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? They
That
got all
was
the
so
hair
sick.
models. Guys, the skaters with the greatest hair.
Yeah, they had an eye, I guess.
What else? I feel like there's so much I want to ask you.
I love it. I'm excited. I
Well,
like all these
thinking
questions.
about it, like when we were chatting, when we were messaging, I was like, I've like followed this guy's skating probably for more than 10 years. It's just kind
Dang,
of funny, you know.
that's crazy. I
You're a public
appreciate
figure.
it. I don't really ever think about it, but it's crazy. Yeah.
And then like, well, especially with like, you know, Instagram now, you get to see more, you know, window into your world. And I'm like, yeah, you seem to be like, you know, living the dream with the tiny house stuff and traveling and yeah.
Try my
How does
best
that
to
work? I was wondering, like, I was like, you don't seem like a YouTube guy. I don't think you do YouTube really. So
No, a
I
lot of
just,
people tell me to, but I feel weird. I don't like being the center of attention like in that way.
hmm. But
I
that
wouldn't
isn't
want to
that kind of
be
what being pro is being like, you know, a
exactly, yeah, it's kind of what I
quasi celebrity performer.
yeah, I just like just wanted to not have a job, and that kind of was the motive for me. And then I like accidentally became some sort of character or like thing that people knew, which
Hmm.
is an interesting thing to have in your life. And like meeting a lot of people, they have like preconceived notions about me, which makes it a little bit weird. A lot of people will just like not like me or something,
Mm.
or like me, you know, they'll have already have their mind made up when I meet them, and they'll
Yeah.
like assert a lot of things like I'm some sort of like arrogant skateboarder, or like if I'm quiet or something, you know, that happens kind of a lot.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't like attention very much, which I kind of make myself have attention just because I don't like it. I like to do that to myself,
Mm.
but that's why I was so into having the character. Like being drunk all the time was just like easier to like deal with the attention part and then just skate whenever I wanted to skate and be myself then. But then like at contest and filming on tour and stuff, I just become like a party monster.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, YouTube seems like a little bit too much like me for me.
Yeah, especially when it's like you just have to have just FaceTime, not even skating, just
Yeah.
talking. And you just need to
What's
like
up,
fill
YouTube?
time. Exactly. I just wondering because I was like, I just wonder like what is the lifestyle like to be in the tiny house and just rove around and like our sponsors just kind of like sending you stuff to a tiny house or sending you like a check to a tiny house or how does that work?
Like I would just like kind of like they would just have to hit me up every time I needed something to ask where to send it to, like wherever I was. I would usually coordinate, like either I would be in a place with a friend like that. I would usually stop in places to film for like weeks and like have fun and skate. But I
Hmm.
spent a lot of my time in the forest like studying mushrooms,
Hmm.
and that was like my favorite part of it. But and then my checks would get sent to my grandma, and she'd direct deposit them for me,
Aw,
or
there you
deposit them.
go.
And if I didn't have direct deposit, she would help me out. She's the best.
Cool. Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely like kind of just daydreamed. Like, how does that work? So
Yeah, it's
seems so
just driving
liberating.
around, figure out where you
Yeah.
want to go. There's cool apps now that like give you the key to the world, where you like their campsites reviewed, free land, and you can just kind of like everyone reviews it night by night, like while they're staying there. So it's a cool like traveling community online you can like get in touch with, and like you don't really have to like I built my tiny house with and I paid for it with a credit card, and I figured I would just pay rent for that. Instead of paying rent that year, I would pay off my tiny house and just build
Hmm.
one and live on the road, and that it worked out really nicely. And it honestly like it was I don't know, it was just like moment to moment decision making, like, oh well, this opportunity is over here, let's just go do that. Or like if I'm working on a project, just I like spots in Albuquerque, let's go
Mm.
and stay for a while. And my wife, I was making enough money just skating at the time to support her, so I was like, I don't know how long this will last, so let's just hit it and like let's enjoy
Wow.
our life right now. And like it worked out pretty nicely. We both blossomed a lot as human beings, and like
Mm.
played a lot of music and learned a
Mm.
lot of lessons.
Wow.
uh
What's
yeah.
your music these days?
Ooh, I play a bunch of different kind of music, but I have my own music I write with like my harmonium, just like kind of like meditation type of mantra music, but I like write my own because I feel kind of weird singing other mantras or things, so I do my own thing, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
singing I do like traditional Hindu chanting, but it just feels a little bit more authentic when I'm like saying words that I came up with that help me, you know? So
That's actually something I specifically wanted to ask you about is mantras. And if you have one while skating, especially stuff that's like challenging, back to the like trying 100 times bit.
yeah. Oh, let's see. I really resonate with the mantra that like Ram Dass has, is I am loving awareness, which kind of just is like overall calming to just say over and over in my head, just remind myself that I'm just this happy being, just be aware and love, and it's okay to stop whenever I want, just care for myself. And that kind of reminds me to be just kind to myself and move forward and be kind to others in all aspects of life. And especially in skating, it's like at least before the internet took over, it was like really like pay your dues and like, you know, work through shit on your in your head, or bottle it up, just fucking get through it, drink a beer, let's get your trick, fuck that. But it's cool to see that like the internet has a good thing the internet has done is like made everyone accessible to everyone, so you don't have to like just please the elite of skateboarding and whatever rules they want to be, you know, asserted onto you.
Yeah. Well, you know, skating is becoming less only toxic masculine.
Yeah, which
I mean,
is
it's
nice.
still like pretty big force,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of other voices now, finally.
Yeah, I remember I have like an interview, or I had an interview in the skateboard mag like 7 years ago or something, and I talk about how homophobia is a problem, and I got attacked by people like, it's not a fucking problem. Why the fuck you're pussy for fucking talking about that? And I was like, this is a weird reaction I didn't predict, but because I was just talking about it because I like me and all my friends, sometimes you kiss a boy and that's okay.
Yeah.
But then everyone would find out about that kind of stuff and like attack, and I would get the brunt of a lot of like weird passive jokes, and so I don't know, I just kind of talked honestly about it, and I did get a lot of a backlash from that, but now that's a lot more accepted, which I'm really happy about. And it's cool to see that like the like fucking Barneys are getting forced to be accepting, because now they're not the force,
or they
they're
just
not like
shut
the
up
driving force.
now. They're not. I
It's
don't know if
slowly like
they're just shutting up.
yeah, probably, yeah, you're right, but I slowly like the wave of like everyone being like accepting and loving is like I like to think it's taking over, at least, maybe not really fast, but you know, we're getting there, we're making moves.
I mean, a lot of it is like with any ignorance, it's that you don't know anyone of whatever group, you know, or whatever it is. So then you start to meet other people and you're like, oh, you're like, you know, someone I can get along with and I can understand. And yeah. But when it's all just, you know, I don't know, angry, bottled up cis guys, it's going to be a lot of like that. Yeah. Homophobia and
yeah, I feel like generally like sexuality and all that is just fluid for everyone, but most people, like if you're being that kind of in that mentality, you're like forcing yourself not to even have thoughts in any sort of way. But I feel like everyone, like, you know, there's some neuroscience like studies, or there's like this one test they do with a rat. I can't think of the specific part of the brain they stimulate, but like they would play meditation music and it would be all right with whatever, and like calming tones and stuff, and you could like introduce things that it would be scared of normally, and it would be open to it a lot more. And then they played the Stooges for the rat, and and then I would be scared of everything and not be able to work with anything. And what that showed is that if you're open to things, you kind of like, you can work with whatever. And I feel like, especially with sexuality, and like you grow up like being forced to have a definitive like thing that you are. And I think that that's a little naive and short-sighted, and a lot of people find comfort in that just because that was the norm for them. But
Yeah.
I think that most people can be all right with almost anything if they just chill out.
Yeah, that's funny. The Stooges, you know,
I know,
call
yeah.
I'm not big into punk or hard music like that, so that's how I feel.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
need my
okay.
easy listening to feel
Yeah, I love
okay.
it. For sure. I grew up going to a punk venue because no one at my school skateboarded. I was like me and like one other person, and it wasn't cool to skateboard, but all my friends were punk, and so I lived by a venue, and I like, my brains were so fast paced. I was always so fast. So like the fast music, like I felt like I like sounded like slow music when I was younger. As I've gotten older, I don't listen to it nearly as much, or but yeah, back then it was like, that was my fast brain could like, oh, I can work with this. I like this. That's why I got into it. But it's definitely overwhelming. In moderation.
I'm sensitive.
For sure, yeah. But in moderation, for sure. Now for me, there's a time and place, because like I'm in a psychedelic rock band now too. I play keyboards, and my wife plays bass and sings.
Cool.
And then my friend Daniel plays guitar and sings too. And then we have like interchangeable friends that play drums. But that's another music project I do, it's called Dino Kale.
Nice. Yeah, I never knew if it was Dino or Dino.
Yeah, Dino Kale. Even though my middle name is Dean.
Oh.
So, you know.
Any relation to Dean Martin?
I hope so.
That's who I love. That's like basically the music I listen to. I like the crooners.
Okay. I listen to a lot of like, I like Sam Cooke, and like a lot of like old soul is like kind of what I listen to a lot now. Or, you know, like I did listen to a lot of the punk in high school, but like Bright Eyes is like my favorite ever.
That's so
like,
funny. Me and my wife were just talking about Bright Eyes, where like that was so my guilty pleasure in high school.
Dude, yeah.
And I was like, I know that everyone has so much to say about this band, but I can't help it. I love it.
I love it. I've just recently had a resurgence of just my love. I'm like,
it's so funny. I almost bought Digital Ashes on CD the other day. I saw it at a record store.
I love it.
Do I really buy this?
It's a good album.
I downloaded it on LimeWire back in the day. I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Oh man.
Damn. I did not think we were gonna discuss Bright Eyes. That's awesome.
I love Bright. Yeah. Changed my life. Got me through some rough times.
You know, it's same, because it's just like, it's kind of like with anything else. You hear someone else say it out loud, you're like, yes, that's how I feel too.
Dude.
Or something.
I know, it really, for sure, yeah. And listening back now, like I'm like just now realizing that I could like watch all my favorite bands and like on YouTube, and like, but like when I guess I've just been like blindly skateboarding for a really long time, and so like now that I've slowed myself down, I'm like, oh, I can like just like watch a bunch of Bright Eyes performances, or like whatever band I'm into, I can like learn about them and like watch them.
Do you remember that one On video that opens with the Bright Eyes song?
Dude,
so
which song was it?
Such a good montage. It's like that one's like, do you like to hurt? I do. I do.
Then hurt me. I listened to that today.
It was such a like banging montage. I can't even think of who was in it. I kind of think Jason Jones might have been in it.
Oh, Jason Jones was for sure.
Remember him?
Dude, On videos are so good.
Yeah. Well, he had his part in the digital video, but he was all
digital. Oh,
yeah.
I love digital videos. Yeah. That's where Ragdoll came out. Ragdoll was.
Yeah, I started to like go through all of his earlier work recently. He doesn't have too many parts. It's like he really kind of was a flash in the pan.
For sure. I
Unfortunately.
I like friends with him now too, which
Really?
is cool.
Wow.
I fanned out on him so hard the day when I met him. I was like, oh my God, just like fucking like hugging and like took a picture, posted on Instagram, just total fanboy.
That's awesome.
But he's cool as heck. He lives in Tucson, Arizona now, and he films with my friend. You know Jeff Stevens?
Yeah, well, we're internet buddies. I gotta have him on the pod.
You definitely do. He will be very entertaining. But he skates the ragdoll all the time, like every day.
Wow, that's crazy.
Ask him about it.
Yeah,
he's filming. I think he's helping him film his new part.
I didn't know if Ragdoll was really skating. Like, I remember listening to his 9 Club thing, and it seemed like he wasn't doing so well body wise or something.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him much about that, and I just know that he's skating as hard as he can and as hard as he wants to, you know, and he's filming tricks and he's posted. If you follow him on Instagram, you see him he's always like getting tricks and trying to be like push himself. It's sick.
Wow. You know, I didn't even think to find him on there because I just feel like I had the impression he was like good with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's good to
follow.
Know.
He's always running in the desert. It's sick.
Wow. That's awesome.
Motivating stuff.
Well, like his whole 9 Club thing was like really inspiring.
I haven't listened to it.
Oh, well, he kind of just talks about like mental health, eating disorders, and like just healing and kind of, I don't know, facing a lot of demons and like emerging. You know, it's funny. I almost wore my Phoenix, Arizona t-shirt today, which has like, nice. I got in Phoenix and he's there now. Yeah, or Tucson, yeah. But yeah.
He was in Phoenix for a second though.
Oh, really?
That's where I met him. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't been there. I've been to Arizona once with my wife and we love it. And like, I was like, get it. I mean, I've always wanted to go and I've always loved watching those videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it makes so much sense. Such good air.
Yeah, I just ended up there. I worked at Woodward with a couple of people that like Preston Harper.
Yeah.
And my friend Ted Schmitz and my friend Tim Ward, who runs this nonprofit with Ryan Reyes called Skate After School.
Yeah. Yep.
But like all those dudes, we all worked at Woodward together. And then I just kind of didn't go home and I just had no money, but I like just went with whatever bag I had at Woodward and like just moved to Arizona and lived under Tim Ward's stairs. He had like this luggage closet. So I cleared it out and he let me live in there for free. And that's honestly, I didn't get even sponsored until I left California, ironically, because I'm from Southern California originally.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy too. I meant to mention this way earlier, but I think we have a mutual buddy from Huntington Beach.
Ooh.
That's where you were, right? This is my buddy named Blake. And honestly, we weren't super close, but I knew him when I lived in Portland, Oregon.
Does he?
Yeah.
I think I know who you're.
He said he used to skate CCS all the time there. Was there a CCS in Huntington Beach then? Like this would have been around like 2010-ish.
Damn, I know a few Blakes out here.
Yeah, I feel like there's a few.
Damn.
I can't think of his last name. I meant to try to remember that. We've kind of drifted. It's been a long time. He visited me in Boston.
Send me that thing.
Yeah, I'll have to look him up. He's a sweet kid.
Yeah, that's sick. Small world though. For sure. I definitely know him probably if he said that.
He said that you guys would skate a lot. And he actually said that you would often commandeer where you were going to go skate for the day. Oh, because you always had a trick in mind. And I was like, and he's like, yeah, you always, we had to go to his spot. And I'm like, that's awesome. If you got a trick, you should be setting the pace.
I'm not very assertive, so I must. But I like that I was confident back then. I like to hear a story about me being confident. I'll take it.
Well, what were you up to around 2010? What was going on?
I graduated in 2007, and I like hitchhiked Arizona through Woodward and the friends in 2008. But I was back and forth so much. So I don't know, man. I don't know what I was up to. I gotta like
Maybe you
really
guys knew
blurry.
each other from like middle school even.
Maybe
something.
there is a Blake that I went to skate with all the time, right? Like at the end of high school, like right, I like turned 18 like at his house. We used to have sleepovers all the time and play EA skate.
Oh, okay.
And his parents knew the drummer of AC/DC or something. I remember that being a really cool thing about them.
Wow,
but
that is cool.
But I don't know if it's the same Blake. If it's that Blake, damn, that's sick.
I hope he doesn't see this and realize I forgot his last name. He'll never see this.
Yeah. Sorry, Blake, we love you.
I love the guy. He did like after my first like kind of big part came out, quote unquote, in one of our early Fancy Lad videos. He texted me. He's like, "Are you Orange Man now?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess so."
That's cool. Well, you know, he might catch this. Who knows?
I hope so. We can reconnect. We'll have to have him on.
Dude, that'd be sick. That'll be a follow-up episode.
Do you ever have friends kind of come out of the past who hit you up for decks or some other random requests, or who come out of the woodwork and they're like, "Remember me, Johnny from random skate park 309?"
It's really a frequent thing, and I like. Well, my wife runs this vegan burger place called Nice Guys in Costa Mesa, California now, which is like next door to Huntington Beach. So I'm back in the zone this year, and like we got a 1-bedroom out here by the skate park, and I'm just seeing so many people like be like, "Oh, it's so good to see you." I'm like, "Yeah, it's great to see you," but I don't remember you at all. But like they're like are my best friend in the world, which is cool, and I like friends, so I'm down. But like definitely like people like in DMs from high school or something, like just always hitting. Yeah, it does happen quite kind of frequently.
That's awesome.
I invite it. I love it.
I feel like you would be courteous and gracious.
I'd love to figure it out and like where do we know each other? I like to just be really like honest, and I'm down. Hit me up, everyone.
Nice. Well, I feel like it hasn't kicked us off, but I should probably let you get to your life. This is quite a pleasure.
I appreciate you. Yeah, thanks for asking me to talk. I really
I'm honestly still pretty blown away that you responded at all and that you were down. I was like, you might be too enlightened to use technology. But then you're on Instagram, you're on here now. I'm like, hell yeah. Here we go.
Dude,
he's one of us.
I've been trying to use technology more. I was off it completely. I didn't read comments for like 3 years, but now I'm trying to I've been finding some value in interacting with everyone again, now that it's not like this like toxic thing I have to do, you know?
Yeah.
It's been nice to like just connect with a lot of people and have positive interactions. I try to like see it as a really powerful and beautiful thing to be able to like tool to have in my life to like be able to experience, have my feelers out in the world and soak in that love, you know?
It's amazing. I mean, especially now where you can't see everyone as easily. It's like it is hanging out with people, or it is meeting people.
Look at us. This is our first hangout.
I didn't think it would come to this. I was hoping that someday we would run into each other and actually skate. Someday.
Someday. Let's not write it off.
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of like maybe this is our first step before we become telekinetic.
Oh yes, that's up. That's gonna happen, man. It's coming up.
I mean, I think we're there at a certain level that we really don't understand. But
I watched a lecture, and it's like a lecture that is like predicting what issues we're gonna have in 2051, and they're like, kids are just telepathic, and it's just like causing a lot of mischief and like through like science. But that was a really funny perspective. So you know, apparently we're on the way.
Bigger problems than that at that time.
Oh man, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'll invite the telekinesis. mischief.
I think that's going to be like helpful.
Yeah,
Like somewhere a mile away, it's like, do you have food and water? Can
yeah,
you
yeah,
travel your
exactly.
way?
Hopefully, we can use technology to figure that problem out. Jeez,
Yeah. Hopefully we don't get to that point, but we'll see.
we'll see, man. Let's try and radiate love and see how that helps.
Yeah.
It
What's a start? I mean, like as entertainers, that's what we do.
starts with us,
Yeah. And that's a bare minimum.
for
So
sure.
it's something.
It's a privilege. It's a privilege.
Yes. Well, it's been a privilege and an honor talking with you.
I freaking love you, my friend.
You
Friends
too.
forever.
You are now officially a Zest friend.
Oh yes,
I'm
made it.
still trying that term out. What do you think?
I'm into it. I back it, and now I hold the title.
Do you have anything coming up that we should be able to look forward to?
I'm filming a VX part.
It's funny that you have to
Just,
call it VX part these days, not just part.
I know, yeah, like I know, I've, but that's been what I'm putting my energy into. My band's putting out a new album, and I wrote a book while
Really?
traveling in the tiny house. It's kind of like just notes from my journal of lessons that helped me, and I sent it to my friend, and he interpreted and illustrated them through his own perspective. So it's like a 70-ish page, like journal style art book that's
Wow.
going to come out, called Approach with Love. My friend Levi is
Nice.
drawing it. Yeah.
Nice.
So
Where
that's
can
cool.
we find that?
I don't know yet,
Okay. Yeah.
but follow me on Instagram and I'll tell you.
For sure. I've been
Yeah.
working on my own illustrated poetry, and I'll tell you what, it's really hard to get published or even printed.
I know that's
But-
the issue. We might just do it on our own, or like, I think I'm gonna lean towards that, or like maybe, I don't know. A lot of options, but I like the
there's a
DIY
lot of
aspect of
ways.
it.
Yeah, and I'm sure people would be interested. I'd love to check it out.
Well, when it's made, I'll give you one. Yeah.
Hey, I'll send you a PDF now that I have your email. I'll send you a PDF of mine.
Oh, I would really appreciate that.
I think you'll enjoy
Yes.
it. If you
I would love
come
that.
through for the drawings.
Yes. I love it.
Cool.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, well, I'll send it to you after we get off, but yeah, thank you. Let me know what you think.
I will give you an honest review.
Yes, exactly. Do not mince words on that.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, heck, my friend. Yeah. Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for doing this too. Thanks for spreading positivity and being awesome. And I really appreciate you and your brain. I'm a big fan. Also, it's me. This is very mutual.
Wow. You're gonna make me
I was honored you asked me. I was really excited. Yeah.
Well, like
love
I
your work.
said, thank you. This is just a cool opportunity for me to like reach out to people and get into it, because who knows if I'm gonna get to California anytime soon, or etc.
For sure.
This has been
It's
really
worked out nicely with us, at least.
Yeah. Thanks. Well, here, I'm just gonna cut the recording, I suppose. I don't know how to end this. It's like I'm not quite the YouTube personality yet, where it's like,
yeah,
hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, subscribe, like, smash
that subscribe button. That's what it is.
Send it to your friends, dude. I don't know what else people do.
Oh, has he been here this whole time?
Yeah, he's been napping. He's waking up right now.
Well, I'm glad I didn't cut the recording. This is the best part. I was actually just on Zoom with my dad, and he said, babies and dogs or cats, that's what makes a podcast. And I'm like, well,
oh, we got it.
Video,
this is my late pup Rocco. He passed away kind of recently.
I was thinking that was him.
This his older brother.
Oh,
but he's still here with us in the rainbow realm.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Did you paint that?
My friend Sparrow did in Albuquerque.
Very
She
nice.
she's wonderful. She paints
Oh,
pets all the time for people, but she did this one for us.
yeah, that's beautiful.
But yeah.
That's perfect. All right. I'm gonna stop
Yeah.
the recording. Wow, that's awesome.
Motivating stuff.
Well, like his whole Nine Club thing was like really inspiring
I
to
haven't
hear.
listened to
Like,
it,
oh
but
well, he kind of just talks about like mental health, eating
oh, cool.
disorders, and like just healing, and kind of, I don't know, facing a lot of demons and like emerging. You know, it's funny. I almost wore
Yeah.
my Phoenix, Arizona T-shirt today, which has like
Nice.
I got in Phoenix, and he's there now. Yeah, or Tucson, but
Yeah.
yeah.
He was in Phoenix for a second though. That's
Oh, really?
where I met him. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't been there. I've been to Arizona once with my wife, and we love it. And like,
It's
I
a
was
great
like,
place.
get it. I mean, I've always wanted to go, and I've always loved watching those videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it makes so much sense. Such good
Yeah,
air.
I just ended up there. I worked at Woodward
Mm,
with a couple of people that like Preston Harper
yeah.
and my friend Ted Schmitz and my friend Tim Ward, who runs this uh nonprofit with Ryan Reyes called Skate After School.
Yeah. Yep.
But like all those dudes, we all worked at Woodward together. And then I just kind of didn't go home, and I just had no money, but I like just went with whatever bag I had at Woodward and like just moved to Arizona and lived under Tim Ward's stairs. He had like this luggage closet. So I cleared
Wow.
it out and he let me live in there for free. And that's honestly, I didn't get even sponsored until I left California, ironically, because I'm from Southern California originally.
Yeah, you know what's crazy too? I meant to mention this way earlier, but I think we have a mutual buddy from Huntington Beach.
Ooh,
That's where you were,
who's it?
right? It's
Yeah,
this
yeah.
my buddy named Blake. And
Blake.
honestly, we weren't super close, but I knew
Oh,
him when I lived in Portland, Oregon.
does it?
Yeah.
I think I know who you're.
He
Wait,
said he used
damn.
to skate CCS all the time there. Was there a
Okay,
CCS in Huntington Beach then? Like this would have been around like 2010-ish.
damn. I gotta freaking. I know a few Blakes out here,
Yeah, I feel like
and I've been.
there's a few.
Damn.
I can't think
Oh,
of
you're
his
gonna have to
last
send me a
name.
picture.
I meant to try to remember that. We've kind of drifted. It's been a long time. He
If you
visited
have
me
a
in
picture, send me
Boston.
that thing.
Yeah, I'll have to look him up. He's a sweet kid
Yeah,
though.
that's sick.
Yeah.
Small world, though, for
Yeah.
sure. I definitely know him probably if he said that.
You definitely he said that you guys would skate a lot, and he actually said that you would often commandeer where you were going to go skate for the day
Oh,
because you
that was the
always had
thing
a
I did.
trick in mind. And I was like,
Oh,
and he's like, yeah, you always, we had to go to his spot. And I'm like, that's awesome. If you got a trick, you should be setting the pace.
I'm not very assertive, so I must.
Huh.
But I like that I was confident back then. I like
That's
to hear a
awesome.
story about me being confident. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Well, what were you up to around then, around 2010? What was going on?
I graduated in 2007, and I like hitchhiked Arizona through Woodward and the friends in 2008. But I was back and forth so much, so I don't know, man. I don't know what I was up to. I gotta like.
Maybe you
really
guys knew
blurry.
each other from like middle school, even.
Maybe there is a Blake that I went to skate with all the time, right? Like at the end of high school, like right. I like turned 18 like at his house. We used to have sleepovers all the time and play EA Skate.
Oh, okay.
And his parents knew the drummer of AC/DC or something. I remember that being a really cool thing about them.
Wow.
But
that is cool.
But I don't know if it's the same Blake. If it's that Blake, damn, that's sick.
I hope he doesn't see this and realize I forgot his last name. He'll never see this.
Yeah. Sorry, Blake. We love you.
I love the guy. He did like after my first like kind of big part came out, quote unquote, in one of our early Fancy Lad videos. He texted me. He's like, "Are you Orange Man now?" And I was like, yeah, I guess so.
That's cool. Well, you know, he might catch this. Who knows?
I hope so. We can reconnect. We'll have to have him
Yeah,
on.
dude, that'd be sick. That'll be a follow-up episode.
Do you ever have friends kind of come out of the past who hit you up for decks or some other random requests, or who come out of the woodwork and they're like, "Remember me? I'm Johnny from random skate park 309."
It's really a frequent thing, and I like. Well, my wife runs this vegan burger place called Nice Guys in Costa Mesa, California now, which is like next door to Huntington Beach. So I'm back in the zone this year, and like we got a 1-bedroom out here by the skate park, and I'm just seeing so many people like be like, "Oh, it's so good to see you." I'm like, "Yeah, it's great to see you," but I don't remember you at all. But like they're like are my best friend in the world, which is cool, and I like friends, so I'm down. But like definitely like people like in DMs from high school or something, like just always hitting. Yeah, it does happen quite kind of frequently.
That's awesome.
I invite it. I love it.
I feel like you would be courteous and gracious.
I'd love to figure it out and like be like, where do we know each other? I like to just be really like honest, and I'm down. Hit me up, everyone.
Nice. Well, I feel like it hasn't kicked us off, but I should probably let you get to your life. But this is quite a pleasure.
I appreciate you. Yeah, thanks for asking me to talk. I really
I'm honestly still pretty blown away that you responded at all and that you were down. I was like, you might be too enlightened to use technology. But then you're on Instagram, you're on here now. I'm like, hell yeah. Here we go.
Dude,
he's one of us.
I've been trying to use technology more. I was off it completely. I didn't read comments for like 3 years, but now I'm trying to I've been finding some value in interacting with everyone again, now that it's not like this like toxic thing I have to do, you know?
Yeah.
It's been nice to like just connect with a lot of people and have positive interactions. I try to like see it as a really powerful and beautiful thing to be able to like tool to have in my life to like be able to experience, have my feelers out in the world and soak in that love, you know?
It's amazing. I mean, especially now where you can't see everyone as easily. It's like it is hanging out with people, or it is meeting people.
Look at us. This is our first hangout.
I didn't think it would come to this. I was hoping that someday we would run into each other and actually skate. Someday.
Someday. Let's not write it off.
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of like maybe this is our first step before we become telekinetic.
Ooh, yes. That's up. That's gonna happen, man. It's coming up.
I mean, I think we're there at a certain level that we really don't understand. But
I watched a lecture, and it's like a lecture that is like predicting what issues we're gonna have in 2051. And they're like, kids are just telepathic, and it's just like causing a lot of mischief and like through like science. But that was a really funny perspective. So you know, apparently we're on the way.
Bigger problems than that at that time.
Oh man, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'll invite the telekinesis mischief.
I think that's going to be like helpful.
Yeah,
like somewhere a mile away, it's like, do you have food and water?
Yeah,
travel
exactly.
Your way.
Hopefully we can use technology to figure that problem out. Jesus.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't get to that point, but we'll see.
We'll see, man. I'm just trying to radiate love and see how that helps.
Yeah. What's a start? I mean, like as entertainers, you know, that's what we do.
It starts with us.
Yeah. And that's a bare minimum. So
for sure.
It's something.
It's a privilege. It's a privilege.
Yes. Well, it's been a privilege and an honor talking with you.
I freaking love you, my friend. Friends
you too.
Forever.
You are now officially a Zest friend.
Oh yes.
I'm still trying that term out. What do you think?
I'm into it. I back it, and now I hold the title.
Do you have anything coming up that we should be able to look forward to?
I'm filming a VX part.
It's funny that you have to
Just,
call it VX part these days, not just
I
part.
know, yeah, like I know, I've, but that's been what I'm putting my energy into. My band's putting out a new album, and I wrote a book while
Really?
traveling in the tiny house. It's kind of like just notes from my journal of lessons that helped me, and I sent it to my friend, and he interpreted and illustrated them in through his own perspective. So it's like a 70-ish page, like journal style book, art book, that's going
Wow.
to come out, called Approach with Love. My friend Levi is
Nice.
drawing it. Yeah.
Nice.
So
Where can we
cool.
find that?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
follow me on Instagram and I'll tell you.
for sure. I've been
Yeah.
working on my own illustrated poetry, and I'll tell you what, it's really hard to get published or even printed.
I know that's
But
that's the issue. We might just do it on our own, and or like I think I'm gonna lean towards that, or like maybe I don't know. I don't, a lot of options, but I like the
there's a
DIY
lot of
aspect of
ways.
it.
Yeah, and I'm sure people would be interested. I'd love to check it out.
Well, when it's made, I'll give you one. Yeah.
Hey, I'll send you a PDF now that I have your email. I'll send you a PDF of mine.
Oh, I would really appreciate that.
I think you'll enjoy
Yes,
it. If you
I would
even
love
come
that.
through for the drawings.
Yes, I love it. I'm
Cool.
looking forward to that.
Yeah, well, I'll send it to you after we get off, but yeah, thank you. Let me know what you think.
I will. I will give you an honest review.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Do not mince words on that.
Okay. Well, heck,
Cool.
my friend. Yeah. Thanks for
Thank,
having me, man.
thanks so much.
I really, thanks for doing this too. Thanks for spreading positivity and being awesome. And I
I'm
really
trying.
appreciate you and your brain. I'm a big
Thanks.
fan. Also, this is very mutual.
Wow. You're gonna make me
I was,
turn
I
orange.
was, I was, I was honored you asked me. I was really excited. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I love
like
your
I
work.
said, thank you. This is just a cool opportunity for me to like reach out to people and get into it. Cause who knows if I'm gonna get to California anytime soon or
Hmm.
etc. You know?
For sure,
So
for sure.
this has been
It's worked
really
out
cool.
nicely with
Yeah.
us, at least.
Yeah. Thanks. Well here. I'm just gonna cut the recording, I suppose. I don't know how to end this. It's like I'm not quite the YouTube personality yet, where it's like
Yeah,
hit the subscribe button.
yeah.
I don't know how to
Subscribe,
do it.
like, smash,
Smash that subscribe
send it to
button.
your
That's what it
friends. Send it to your friends, dude. I don't know what else people do.
is. Oh, has he been
Nap time.
here this whole time?
Yeah, he's been napping. He's waking up right now.
Well, I'm glad I didn't cut the recording. This is the best part. I was actually just on Zoom with my dad, and he said, you know, babies and dogs or cats, that's what makes a podcast. And I'm like, well,
Oh, we got
there's
it.
video,
And
yeah.
this is my late pup Rocco. He passed away kind of recently.
Oh, I was thinking that was him.
This his older brother,
Oh,
but he's still here with us in the rainbow realm.
yeah, that's beautiful. Did you paint that?
My friend Sparrow did in Albuquerque.
Very
She
nice.
she's wonderful. She paints
Oh,
pets all the time for people, but she did this one for us.
yeah, that's beautiful.
But yeah.
That's perfect. All right. I'm gonna
Yeah.
cut the recording. Thank you. Here, let me just
No worries.
thank you. Here, let me just
No worries.